So Frazer Chesterman, FuturePrint TV. Here we are for the third episode of the Agfa inkjet series. I'm very pleased to have Rita Torfs with me. Rita, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Tell us a bit about your role at Agfa.
I'm currently working in a role of product manager for packaging. So I'm responsible for the Speedset and 60, which is built in Cambridge.
And we're going to talk a little bit about water-based inks, an area that you're a specialist in. So Agfa is an organisation really committed to developing water-based inks. Where's that coming from, that kind of drive?
We want to work on a sustainable solution and also an eco-friendly solution. So water-based inks are actually safe for the operators to use. They have low VOCs, so that means almost no VOCs, so they have low emissions. They have a lower odor, and you can work with several applications. You can work with that. For packaging applications, for instance, you can make the inks recyclable, and they can be compliant for food safety.
Sure, sure. What do you think are the major considerations, actually, and the challenges that for printers who are using water-based, and how does that relate to what you guys have developed?
Yeah, so water-based inks, that's a real challenge to work on different substrates. You cannot use water-based inks on all substrates, so sometimes you still need to use UV inks, but for the solutions, for the applications where you can work with water-based inks, it's definitely also a challenge. First of all, the print quality. Print quality is not so easy to do with water-based inks, especially if you have non-porous materials, then it's almost impossible. But for porous materials, you can work with the water-based inks, but even then, you have to consider the absorption in the materials. Then we use, for instance, a primer to control the bleeding, to control the absorption in the material. That's one challenge, the print quality, but then it's also a challenge to have the integration with the printhead. Not all printheads are can be filled with water-based ink, so you have to think about the corrosion, for instance.
Sure.
And there is also water-based inks. They come with a lot of maintenance to be done.
Yeah.
So, and also head replacements. That's maybe a challenge for water-based inks.
So it's quite difficult to create that consistent print quality, isn't it? So what have Agfa done to manage that?
What we do, we typically work with a primer. Additional, so prior to printing the image, we print a primer, and this primer will control actually the print quality.
Sure.
It helps to enhance the print quality, but also to extend the color gamut, and it also reduces your ink consumption for the printing the image.
Yeah. Now I know you're involved in the packaging side, but also you are certainly doing some work on laminates, aren't you? The laminate flooring. So tell us a little bit about water-based inks in laminates. Yeah.
So what we typically do at Agfa is actually 3 applications to be complete. So we have textile applications where we print on garments with dye sublimation inks. We have the laminate water-based inks, and that process is actually printing on paper. Then this paper will be impregnated with melamine resin, and then it will be all pressed on a core on a base with several layers on top, and that will be pressed on a core, and that is actually the laminate. So this laminate can be used for furniture and for flooring, and this has a dedicated ink set. So with dedicated pigments, and these pigments are actually selected for low metamerism.
Sure.
So the metamerism, I can explain that. So that's actually when you expose the image to different light sources, the image should be perceived as exactly the same color.
Yeah.
This comes also with inks, which having for both single pass and multi-pass, it's almost the same formulation. They are quite similar, but they are interchangeable, and they have a really good batch-to-batch consistency. So that is very important, because if you have a floor complete with laminate, the color should be everywhere the same. So this batch-to-batch consistency of the ink is very important.
Okay. So very much a case of, different options suit different requirements.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And obviously, from your point of view, a fan of water-based inks.
I am, definitely.
Thank you very much, Rita. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.